Are you someone who's recently gone through or you're about to go through a career change? Well, I've been there many, many times and it can be quite tough, quite stressful, quite like daunting. So I want to give some guidance mentally that can really support you with career transitions. And if you stay until the very end, I have an extra point for you then as well. Now, one of the things that can happen with things like career transitions is like a lot of stress, and that can build up in us over time, particularly as guys. I've learned, and what's really been beneficial for me is breath work, because breath work really allows me to regulate, calm my body down so I can be more focused, more productive. And it's also allowed me to connect with me deeper and therefore form more meaningful relationships. And it's helped me progress a lot. So if you're someone who's got a lot of blocks, particularly the body, you're finding yourself going in circles through certain patterns, then all you got to do is book in your breath work call. We could just have a talk about whether breathwork is going to be suitable for you and your block to move you forward. And you can find that in the show notes below, linked. Okay, so I've found it hard in terms of career transitions a few times when I've done it. So I've been in different companies, I've been in different jobs, I've been in the same company and then moved to a different job. And I felt like many times, like, who am I? I'm out of place, not having the confidence at the time. Oh my God, I'm an imposter. I'm a young kid. What are they all going to think of me? All these kind of things, right? And what I learned over time is, as I progressed, that I'm less prone to thinking about what others are thinking about me. Now, it doesn't mean I don't have any, because, I still obey by the law and I'm human at the end of the day. I still, do care to some degree. But over time, through my career transitions, if I go into a new opportunity, I'm a lot more confident than I used to be. And what I realized is the brain is always looking out for me. It's always trying to keep me safe. And that's a part of the limbic brain. It's trying to keep me safe. It's like, okay, don't do this, don't do that, because that's dangerous, right? And when I've learned to talk to it and train it in a certain way, that's really helped me move forward. Maybe you've been trapped by the brain a little bit. And when you're trying to make a career transition, whether it's in the same company or to a new one, it's really got on top of you. Well, I really want to talk about that today. So the first thing I'm going to say is this concept from Tony Robbins: state, story, strategy, not strategy, story, state, which most people think it is. It thinks, if I think of a way to get through this, then I'll change my story and then I'll feel happier. If you do it the other way around, it will create ideas for you. So get excited, put a smile on your face, stand upright, jump up and down before you go into a new situation if you need it, because that's going to change the way you think and create new different thought processes, therefore actions. So that'd be my first guidance. Train yourself to feel good by changing your states. You can do things like cold showers, you can do things like working out, you can do things like the power pose, you can do things just even simple as smile, because that change your state. So schedule that in for your day. The second one is know and own your value. You can do this by writing down what is really valuable about me and then keep writing it again and again and reading it again and again. Because the more you can embed that, I read this 3 times a day, right? My values and what I know is valuable about me 3 times a day. Do you think I believe in my own value? Yes, certainly. Like, there's always work to do on myself, of course, but I know my own value because I embed it in myself every single day. The third one is make a plan in terms of, if you're thinking about a career transition or you're in one, then make a plan, make some steps, and don't be attached to the outcome. So people often get confused with this, and I certainly have, when it's like, okay, you can either be like so attached to the outcome, you're trying to plan everything and you're scared of everything go wrong, or you just don't care, you don't give a shit, as some guys might say. What I found is somewhere in between. Make a plan like, okay, this is where I want to go and this is my next step. You know what you want, but you don't get too attached to it. You just focus on taking the step. And when you do it, you celebrate. And then if life takes you a different direction, the career transition doesn't go to plan, you know that you've got to take another next step continually. I found a real challenge of certainty and knowing something's got to be right in my life for me. And it was really tough and holding me back until I started thinking in this way. And then the fourth one, really simple one, lots of people don't will ignore because they're like, oh my God, I'm not going to spend money on that, but then they waste money on other things. It's this: get yourself a coach or mentor, because getting someone who's further ahead than you in the game is really going to help you move forward. So if you're wanting a career transition, learn from someone who's already done it and listen to what they do and take their guidance. And that could even be in the form of a book or an interview they've done. I would suggest getting a one-to-one mentor, because they can actually talk you through your problems and steps forward. That would be my other benefit suggestion. So I've got a final point that I want to share. It's a really powerful question. Just once again, though, if you're someone who is very stressed, really holding themselves back, and you're like, "Oh, what are these blocks?" Well, breath work could be a game changer for you. So all you got to do is book in your call to discuss whether this is an opportunity for you to really move out some of these challenges and things that are holding you back. And you can book that call in the show notes below. So the final point I want to share with you is ask yourself this question: what's the best thing that could happen from me moving forward? And what's the worst case if I don't? So you're on a career transition, or you're thinking about one, and then you're like getting stuck, and it's like, okay, what's going to be the best thing if I really allow myself to move forward with this? What opportunities can I create? And then what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Like if I don't, right? So like if you stay still, you could be miserable, you might not get the money, you won't be able to provide for others. Now this sounds quite painful, but it actually promotes action, because when we're in a lot of pain, as human beings, we'll do a lot to get out of that. So we often use pain to stop us from doing things we want, like fear of rejection, fear of failure. But if you can start using the fears of never taking any action, of regret, then that could be a very strong driver as well. So that's what I've got for you today in terms of my guidance around thinking about career transitions, whether you're in one or you're looking to do one. So I appreciate you for being here, and remember to lead with your heart and not with fear.